Malacca in Peninsula Malaysia is also spelled Malacca and is one of the most interesting parts of the country. Malacca has a varied history, having been colonized by the Portuguese, Dutch, and British, and as such you will find influences from all of these former colonial powers in the food, architecture, and even the language. The city also has a large Chinese community known as Peranakan or Straits Chinese, which has led to the Nyonya culture, which is a mix of Malay and Chinese influences that has even spawned a completely unique cuisine in the form of delicious Nyonya dishes. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Malacca so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, Cheng Hoon Teng Chinese Temple. Cheng Hoon Teng Chinese Temple has the claim to fame of being the oldest Chinese temple of its kind in Malaysia and dates from the 17th century. The temple is an important place of worship for the Buddhist Chinese community in Malacca, and a visit here is a great way to learn more about their culture and history. Make sure to check out the inscription that dates from 1685 and which is dedicated to Kapitan Li Wei King, as well as the statue of Guanyin, who is the goddess of compassion. At number 9 is the Taming Sari Revolving Tower. It is hard not to notice Taming Sari Revolving Tower when you are in Malacca, as it soars to a height of 110 meters and can seat 66 passengers at one time. The ride in the tower takes around 7 minutes to complete, as you will ascend and then get to spend 5 minutes at the top taking in the views over the city before descending again. From the tower you can take in panoramic vistas across the city which stretch all the way to the coast. At number 8, Sultanate Palace. The Sultanate Palace is actually a model of the original wooden palace that belonged to Sultan Mansur Shah, who would have been the ruler of Malacca from 1456 to 1477. The home has now been transformed into a cultural museum which is flanked by pretty gardens, and what makes the building even more impressive is that it was made without using any nails to hold it together. Instead, the structure stands as a result of some clever engineering and a series of wooden grooves and slots, and the reconstruction was done after taking detailed notes of how the original palace would have looked according to the Malay annals. At number 7, A Famosa Resort. Ready to let your hair down and get your heart rate up? Well, make your way to Malacca's beloved A Famosa Resort. Named after the nearby 16th century Portuguese fort, A Famosa is a blend of fun, family-friendly action. This, with a topping of adrenaline-pumping water park action. There's so much to do here, you could realistically plan several days. Within the resort, travelers will find Malaysia's largest water theme park, the Safari Wonderland, a sprawling 27-hole golf course in the desert, the Old West Entertainment District. At number 6 in our list, Melaka Zoo. If you fancy a short trip out of town, then consider visiting the Malacca Zoo, which is located in Air Caro. The zoo has the claim to fame of being the second largest zoo in Malaysia, although many locals will also tell you that they consider it to be the best. The zoo is located in an area of forest land, and the enclosures have been designed to mimic the natural environment of the animals. You can see a range of both indigenous and international species here, and there's a scenic lake in the middle of the complex which makes a great place to go for a walk in the afternoon. There are also special night visits when you can stay in the zoo up to 11 p.m. to check out the nocturnal animals that live here. At number 5, Malacca River Cruise. Kick back and relax on a Malacca River cruise. With so many of the city's highlights lined along the traipsing river, it's a wonderful way to see Malacca's history and interesting sights. You'll find boats making their way up and down the river throughout the day and into the evening. These pontoon-like boats depart from either the Spice Garden or Malacca River Square jetties. Along the way, they pass under 6 traditional bridges and by such sites as Kampung Morton and Stadthuys. We preferred the 45-minute journey at sunset. At number 4, Stadthuys. This old Dutch city hall is painted the same red as Christ Church and most of the other remaining Dutch colonial buildings in Malacca. It went from the offices of the Dutch governor and deputy governor under Dutch rule to a free English school under British rule. Today it is home to the History and Ethnography Museum, believed to be one of the premier museums in the region. It includes traditional costumes and artifacts that showcase the many different periods in Malaccan history. At number 3 in our list, Jonker Street. This street is the center of Chinatown of Malacca. It began in Dutch colonial times as the home to many of the servants of Dutch nobility. However, after the Dutch left, it became the home of the nobles themselves. Many 17th century manors remain here, along with a large number of shops, restaurants, and other amenities. When the large Chinese presence moved in, decorative accents like a large Chinese-style archway were added. At number 2, Christ Church. A stone's throw from Jonker Street, the Christ Church is the most beloved in Malacca. In a city littered with old, historic religious buildings, the dusty red colors of the Christ Church place it on an unreachable pedestal. Christ Church was created in the 18th century to replace the aging Portuguese church and remains one of the most iconic buildings from the Dutch colonial era in Malacca. Originally white, this building was painted red in the early 1900s. Check out the number 1 places in our list, Masjid Selat. Masjid Selat, Malacca Straits Mosque, was created in the early 20th century with a mix of Middle Eastern and Malay architectural styles. Built on man-made Malacca Island, it is designed to appear as if it is floating when water levels are high. In traditional Moorish style, much of the outside is white with accents of vibrant color. In this case, large stained glass archways of yellow and green are one of the main showpieces that accent the mosque. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Malacca? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.